Welcome everyone to Picks and Parlays Power Hour. I'm your host, Hannah Mears. You can follow me on Twitter at @handmears_. That's my handle right there. Or better yet, like, subscribe, follow along so you don't miss a single minute of our content, including my Mearsy minutes that come out on the daily, giving you my best bets. But also don't forget to take advantage of nohouseadvantage.com. I'll tell you a little bit more about it right now. No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. All you have to do, sign up now using promo code PNP at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app on the App Store to get a first deposit match up to $50. That's No House Advantage for you, and you should take advantage of it. nohouseadvantage.com. You should also take advantage of Dan the Man and his picks that he's going to be giving you today for Army and Navy, one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football. So much always riding on this game. But Dan, first, everyone should head over to the website after this. Use the promo code PLAYOFF. That will save them 25% off the entire website. So Merry Christmas for Picks and Parlays. There's your little present. I love all of our graphics here as well. Look at our Christmas graphics. This is fun and festive of us. Love this on the Power Hour. But Dan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Not in the festive spirit just yet, but hey, I'm getting there.
Oh, Dan, it's like December 7th.
Yeah.
Come on. My Christmas tree was up. My decorations were up last week.
I got a Christmas tree up. It's just I gotta get into it.
All right, you've got to get going a little bit.
Yes.
Well, maybe Army and Navy will put you in the spirit. The greatest rivalry in all of college football. Navy comes in this one favorite at -9 or 1.5. I've seen 2.5 on here. I've seen it at 1.5 as well. Maybe it's moved a little bit. Total at 32.5. Army's run game, though, I think is what I'd be a little bit scared of. 4 of their last 6, they've had 300 or more rushing yards, but Navy traditionally dominates this game. So what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, officially that the college football season's over when you get the Army Navy game. Both teams have not played well away from home. Navy's come in and lost 5 of their last 8 games. The Army's lost 4 of their last 5, not at home. But yeah, basically, as you know, it's Army Navy. It's going to be run, and more run. Navy's rush averaging about 239 yards a game on the ground, where the Black Knights are averaging, like you said, a little over 300 yards a game. Mm-hmm. But I look at this a little bit different. I'm looking at the defense.
Okay.
Navy's 4th in the nation against the rush, where Army, even though they have the second best rushing offense, they're 116th in rushing defense.
Yikes.
So yeah, if Army can't stop the run in this one, I think they'll be in trouble. But I'm looking more at the total in this one, because you're going to get all this running, whether you can stop it or not. It's just going to be grinding out the clock. The under is 22-7. The Black Knights' last 29 neutral site games. The under is 18-3 in the last 21 meetings between these two teams. It's Army Navy. It's all about pride, and I just think this game, even though it's such a low number, I'd be surprised if this game doesn't end up 17-14. So I'm taking the under.
All right. Sounds good. I don't mind that with all of the running that's been happening between the two teams as well. And like you said, it's going to be a grinder of a game, as it usually is between these two teams. Dan likes the under 32.5. For more of our content here on Picks and Parlays, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're live on the Power Hour Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's on the college side of things, Dan. Now it's time to move into some Thursday night football. We've got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Rams, and we want your 3 best prop bets. But first, I want to remind everyone that if they go to the website after this and use the promo code PLAYOFF, it saves them 25% off the entire website. Can't beat a discount this time of year, especially around the holidays. We'll get Dan there in the holiday spirit by the end of this, all right? We'll get him there. Discounts are a great way to get people there. Dan, some Thursday night football props as well. I've been working on mine. We'll see if yours line up in any way possible. But if I'm some people, I'm looking at maybe Josh Jacobs a little bit with what he's been doing. So tell me, what are your thoughts with the Rams, who have kind of been in shambles so far this season?
Exactly. And yeah, that's Josh Jacobs is one of mine. I've got Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown -140. And basically with Josh Jacobs, it's if you expect the Raiders to win, you have to take them to score a touchdown.
Right.
He did score a touchdown the first 3 weeks of the season. All three losses. Then he comes on and he scores one in the next 3 games. Both and two of those were losses. He's starting to. He scored two over the next 2 weeks. He scored two. The team went 2-1, and then the last 3 weeks he scored. The last 2 weeks he scored three each. The last 3 weeks, all wins, and he scored the last 2 weeks. He scored three touchdowns. I just like them. I think, and I this goes to the fact that I think the Raiders are going to win this game. They're going to win it big, so I think that's easy. He's got. I can't see him not getting one in this game. My other plays, first team to score a touchdown. I got the Las Vegas Raiders at -175. I know it's a big number, but with the Rams playing a backup quarterback, all their wide receivers hurt, they can't run the ball, and their defense is not up the same defense as it was last year.
No.
If the Rams do get a good opening drive, I think that they'll only get a field goal out of it. So yeah, I think the Raiders will be the team scoring touchdowns in this game. And then going with that, I like Derek Carr over 1.5 touchdown passes at -115. He's thrown 2 touchdowns or more in 9 of the 12 games this season, and he's done that in the last 5 games. So I think he should get 2 in this one.
Yeah, I feel like Derek Carr needs to come out and kind of throw a couple touchdown passes, really be a dominant guy in this one, especially going against the Rams team who, like we said, without their quarterback are in shambles. Like, you have to prove that you're not just supposed to be there, you're supposed to be winning there in a big way.
Right. And you might have a little misgivings, because if you figure they'll put Jalen Ramsey on Devontae Adams, but he hasn't had a good year this year either. He's been giving up some big plays, and I think early in the season, because I know this because I have Devontae Adams on my fantasy team, and I think Derek Carr forgot that he was even on the team because he wasn't seeing much early in the season, but he seems to be catching a lot of passes and touchdown passes the last
great
few weeks.
Season now, right?
Right. So yeah, I think they'll hook up for at least one, and Carr will get one from somebody else before this game is over. So
I can see that being a good prop bet as well. I like Josh Jacobs on the ground scoring touchdowns. He's just been so dominant. I find it hard to believe that he won't have a couple big plays out of this one, including a touchdown as well. Thank you so much, Dan. Always great to have you on and have your expertise. Hopefully in the next few days, maybe when I see you next week, you'll be more in the holiday spirit. But also remember, everyone, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Picks and Parlays Power Hour live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Hannah Mears. This is Picks and Parlays Power Hour. We're live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. And now it's time to bring on my next guest, Mr. Nick Earl. And happy birthday to you as well.
Appreciate it.
Are you doing anything fun for your birthday?
Just going around. We downloaded a bunch of different food apps, so we're going to go on and get all the free food that we can get. Having a little fun that way.
That's awesome. That's such a good idea. Okay, I love that. All right, food apps. You'll have to let me know the next time we talk then what your favorite meal was that you got for free on
just
your birthday.
Got a dozen donuts from Krispy Kreme.
Okay. Well, I like that. Wow. Look at all these. Okay. I'm going to take all the notes from you then on my birthday to let me know where I can go and get free stuff. But we've got some football to talk about as well. We've got Carolina at Seattle. But first, I want to remind everybody, it may be a happy birthday to you or happy holidays if you'd like. Go to our website, use promo code PLAYOFF, get 25% off the entire site. So happy holidays or happy birthday, whatever it may be. If you're like Nick today, it's happy birthday. Those Carolina Panthers who just said goodbye to Baker Mayfield are headed to Seattle to take on a very good Geno Smith this season. So what's going to happen, and why do we see so much money right now on Carolina to cover?
I don't know. Carolina, they head on the road to the West Coast here. I had this game projected around a 4, so I do see a little bit of value here with the 3.5 with Seattle. So that's where I'm going for this game. Carolina is yet to win a game on the road this year. They're 0-5. And then they have covered 3 straight games though, Carolina, and 5 of the last 6. So maybe that's the reasoning behind it. Yeah. But I think this line's a little bit too short for Seattle in this game. So I end up taking the -3.5 in this spot.
Yeah, that's where I kind of liked it too. I was surprised when I was checking different sites today and I kept seeing Carolina and a lot of people on it. And maybe they're just looking at the fact they covered, but playing a team like Seattle at home, who's offensively been really hot, maybe they're thinking, Will Carolina run the ball a little bit against Seattle? They're not great in run defense, I guess, but overall, I do think Seattle can maybe at least win by a touchdown in this is what I would be thinking. But so I could see where your head's at. That's kind of where mine was as well. The birthday boy, Nick Earl, with his pick, Seattle Seahawks -3.5. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and you don't want to miss any of our content. All right, now, Nick, we've got NFL Rapid Fire. This is fun. You get to do Rapid Fire. You didn't have to give me any props. I know you hate that, so maybe this is a little bit of a birthday present for you as well, to actually get to do some rapid fire. Before we get into this, though, let's remind everybody to head to the website to save 25% off by using the promo code PLAYOFF. That's all you have to do. Use that promo code, get 25% off. Happy holidays and happy birthday. Okay, NFL Rapid Fire. You ready to go?
Yes.
All right, I'm excited for this. Let's see what our first game is. The New York Jets. What an interesting story they've been this season. In Buffalo. Buffalo favored at -9.5 and the total at 44. But can the Buffalo Bills put up big points against the Jets defense?
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was looking at this. This is the only total that out of the rapid fire that I was looking at, because this side I think is about right. I think this line should be around that 9.5, 10 mark. That's where I had it power ranked. But I'm going to be looking at the total here. Divisional unders have been something I've been looking at a lot, and there's a bunch of those this week. And we have a few divisional games we're going to be looking at during the matchups here, which I bet a lot of divisional unders, and that's where I'm going for this one here, under 44 in this game. Both teams are tops with their defense. The Jets are 6th in the NFL, giving up 18.6 points per game, and the Bills are number 4, giving up 17.4. The Jets' offense has struggled a little bit this year. They are averaging 21 points per game, which is 18th. A little bit better since they've gone with Mike White at quarterback. But I'm looking at this game here, and I see that this is going to be a little bit of a lower scoring divisional battle, similar to the last time these two teams played. The total was 2 points higher at 46 and went under with a total of 20-17. I think something along those lines as well. Probably something along 24-14 is my projected score for that one. So I think this game goes under the total.
Yeah, unless Josh Allen decides to have like this freak show of a game, I could see this one going under as well, because like I said, I was looking at that offense-defensive matchup with the Jets and Bills there. All right, let's see our next game as well. We like the under in that. We've got the Battle of Ohio here. We've got the Cleveland Browns in Cincinnati with a on the rise, Bengals and Joe Burrow kind of peaking at the right time. The Bengals favored at -6, the total at 47, but Deshaun Watson is back with the Browns. Does that make a difference in this game?
I'm not a fan of Deshaun Watson. I faded him a little bit last week with his passing yards under for his first week back. Unfortunately, I had the Texans, even though the Texans didn't cover and they didn't give up a single defensive touchdown. A touchdown on defense. Cleveland didn't score anything on offense. All their touchdowns were through defensive touchdowns. So it wasn't Deshaun Watson doing the job last week. Looking at this Cincinnati Bengals team, they are tied for the best team this season, ATS, with the New York Giants. They're 9-3 against the spread. They're 8-4 overall. And I think it's time maybe we should start looking at maybe some Cincinnati Bengals, AFC North futures, maybe some AFC futures. This team is starting to peak into form. I think their only threat really is Kansas City. To be completely honest. So I like the Bengals to take care of business in this game. I have this game more around that. I had this game more around like up and above a touchdown. I had this game capped around 7.5, 8. So I see some value in the line laying less than a touchdown with Cincinnati here at home. So I'm laying the 6 with the Cincinnati Bengals. I also do have a small bet on the under in this game as well.
All right. I like the Bengals in December as well. Joe Burrow is peaking at the right time, and so is that entire team. And the Browns like them in fantasy. But yeah, like you were saying, that offense, big old question mark and not looking so good for the money that he is being paid right now. Let's check about our next game. The Eagles at the Giants. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in this game. The Eagles favored at -7, the total at 44.5. But these two teams right now have this is a big matchup to me this week. Both of these teams have to finish this season strong.
Yeah, this is too many points for a divisional home underdog getting a full touchdown here at the New York Giants, and I get it. Yeah, the Eagles are 11-1, but actually their ATS record is not as good as the Giants is, even though the Giants have not as good of a record for 7-4-1 coming off of the tie against Washington. But they're 9-3 ATS. They're tied with the Bengals for the best ATS record in football. I'm grabbing the 7 points here. We're sprinkling the money line as well for a nice little home underdog here. I like the Giants in this spot. We have the Eagles coming in off of a couple of nice wins, but this is just too many points. According to my numbers, I had this game around a 5.5. So I see a little bit of value here with the home underdog as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take the points with the Giants here.
Yeah, I kind of like that one too. I don't know. Like I said, the Giants, they know exactly where they are and where they need to be in the next few games. And I'd be a little worried about giving the Eagles an entire touchdown in this game, especially with what the Giants can do if that run game gets going as well. All right, let's see what we've got next up on our slate. We've got the Chiefs in Denver and only favored -9.5. I mean, I get it. Total at 43. And I'm assuming it's because of the Broncos defense and the Chiefs not being as great, but like we've seen this Denver offense not be able to do much this season. So I want to know what your projection was.
Yeah, this is an interesting game because the Denver Broncos have the second best defense in football, only giving up 17 points per game, and the worst offense in football, 13.8. I do have the under bet in this game, but I'm going to go with the side in this spot here because I mean, the under's the easy play in this one because when in doubt, death taxes and Broncos going under the total. But I think this is once again like last game. This is too many points for a divisional home underdog. Okay. So we're going a little bit of Broncos country. Let's ride plus the 9.5. I think this is too many points. I had this game around a 6.5, 7-ish. Like I think it should have been around the touchdown range, not getting close to 2 touchdowns here. So I grabbed the Broncos plus 9.5. Put a quarter unit on the money line, like stuff like that. Like, because whenever I do bet an underdog, I take a sprinkle on the money lines because if you're betting an underdog, you think that there is a decent chance they do pull off the upset and there's value on that money line. So I went ahead, I took 9.5 with the Broncos, small sprinkle on the money line as well.
Do I think that the Broncos can upset the Chiefs? Absolutely
Probably not, but that's plus 335.
Stranger things have happened this season. I mean, so I don't put anything past the NFL at the moment, but if Patrick Mahomes gets going, I'm a little nervous about this. However, I do see the value in what you picked because of the Broncos defense. And sometimes Patrick Mahomes can struggle against a good defense. Let's not knock that out of the park as well. It takes him a little bit more to get going. All right. Was that our 5th one? Do we have another? Did I lose count? All right. The Minnesota Vikings in Detroit. The Lions favored at -2.5 and the total at 52.5. The Vikings have about, I feel like, 0 respect still this season, even though they've been doing really well. Marquee matchup of the year. Yeah, of course, every Lions one is. But I feel like the Vikings are just not getting the respect they deserve. Nobody fully trusts them yet. So what do you like in this matchup? Do you kind of agree? Like, does anybody fully trust the Vikings?
Nobody fully trusts the Vikings because statistically they're the luckiest team in NFL history at the moment. They have the lowest point differential for a 10-2 football team in NFL history. They are squeaking by with 1-score wins, and the 2 games they lost, they got absolutely blown out versus good competition. This line opened up around Minnesota -2, -1.5 range, and it's flipped. And this is telling you the markets see the 5-7 Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings 10-2 as equals. Should tell you everything you need to know about this game. So you're getting the 10-2 Vikings at plus money. No, thank you. I'll take the Lions here. Money lined him here. I got him at -120 earlier in the week. This is one of my favorite plays of the week, and this is definitely a circa play for Tim and I for the contest. So we're on the Lions. I think this line is this way for a reason, and I think the Lions get this win.
Everybody.
Yeah, give me the Lions.
I kind of like it. I've seen the Lions. I'd rather have like some of the games that the Lions have like lost in fighting fashion than, like you said, like some of the games that Minnesota has won by like a point. So I don't know. I kind of like it as well. And in Detroit, let's go. All right. I'll be paying attention to this one for sure. If you want more of our content as well and to pay attention to more of what we've got going on and give Nick Earl a happy birthday shout out, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live, Picks and Parlays Power Hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us.